Friends, we are here to explore a concept so powerful, so transformative, that it has the potential to redefine our entire approach to life. We are here to discover how to build a life we do not need a break from. A life you do not need a break from. How different would that be from the way most of us live now? How many of us spend our days counting down to the weekend, to our next vacation, to retirement? How many of us view our daily lives as something to be endured rather than enjoyed? This mindset has become so ingrained in our society that we barely discern it anymore. We accept it as normal. It's just the way things are. But I am here to challenge that notion. I am here to suggest that there's a different way to live. A way that aligns so closely with our true selves, our passions, and our purpose that the very idea of needing a break becomes obsolete. I can almost hear some of you thinking, that sounds nice, but it's not realistic. I have bills to pay, responsibilities to meet. I can't just quit my job and follow my bliss. And you are absolutely right. Building a life you do not need a break from is not about abandoning your responsibilities or pursuing a life of constant leisure. It's about aligning your life as it is right now with your true purpose and passions. There was once a man named David. David had it all. Or so society told him. He had the high-paying job, the fancy car, the big house. He worked 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, always chasing that next promotion, that next bonus. His mantra was, work hard now, enjoy life later. Every day, David would drag himself out of bed, force down a quick breakfast, and rush to the office. He'd sit in meetings he hated, deal with people he couldn't stand, all for a paycheck that never seemed quite enough. His only solace, the 2 weeks of vacation he got each year, those precious 14 days when he could finally live. But one day something changed. David was on one of his coveted vacations, lounging on a beach, when he saw an old man walking along the shore. This man moved with a vitality that David had never seen before. Intrigued, David struck up a conversation. The old man, it turned out, was a local fisherman. He spent his days doing what he loved, being on the sea, catching fish, providing for his family. And he'd play his guitar, spend time with his loved ones, and watch the sunset. David was perplexed. But do not you want more? He asked. Do not you want to expand your business? Make more money. Become successful. The old man smiled. But why? He asked. I do what I love every day. I have time for my family, for my passions. I am at peace. I am happy. Is that not success? That conversation changed David's life. He realized that he had been chasing a mirage, always running towards a future moment of happiness while missing the beauty of the present. He had been building a life he constantly needed a break from, instead of creating one he loved living every single day. I am not suggesting we all quit our jobs and become fishermen. The point of this story is not about the specific lifestyle the old man had chosen. The point is about alignment. The fisherman had built a life that was in harmony with his values, his passions, and his purpose. And that's what we are here to talk about today. So how do we begin to build a life we do not need a break from? It starts with understanding a fundamental truth. You were created for a purpose. Each one of you, every single person here, was born with a unique set of gifts, talents, and passions. These are not random. They are not accidents. They are clues pointing you towards your purpose, towards the contribution only you can make to this world. When you align your life with this purpose, when you start living in harmony with your true self, something magical happens. Work ceases to be work in the traditional sense. It becomes a joyful expression of who you are. Mondays are no longer dreaded. They're welcomed as another opportunity to do what you love. Finding and living your purpose is not always easy. It requires courage. It demands that you challenge the status quo, that you question the path society has laid out for you. It means having the audacity to believe that you were meant for more than just paying bills and dying. I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I do not know what my purpose is. I do not have any special talents or passions to that. I say nonsense. Every single person of purpose has gift to offer the world. Sometimes we have just buried them so deep under society's expectations that we have forgotten they exist. If you are struggling to identify your purpose or passions, start by paying attention to what energizes you. What activities leave you feeling fulfilled rather than praying? What topics can you talk about for hours without getting bored? What issues in the world make you think? Someone should do something about that. The answers to these questions are breadcrumbs leading you to your purpose. Follow them. Once you have gained clarity on who you are and what matters to you, the next step is to audit your current life. How much of your time is spent on activities that align with your values and passions? How much is spent on things that drain you? Are there changes you can make, even small ones, to bring more alignment into your daily life? This audit might be uncomfortable. You might realize that much of your life is out of alignment with your true self. But remember, awareness is the first step towards change. Building a life you do not need a break from does not mean you will never face challenges or difficulties. Life will still have its ups and downs. You will still have bad days. But when you are living in alignment with your purpose, these challenges become opportunities for growth rather than reasons to escape. It's like the difference between climbing a mountain you have chosen to climb and being forced to climb a mountain you have no interest in. Both are difficult. Both require effort. But one fills you with a sense of purpose and achievement, while the other just leaves you exhausted and resentful. So how do we start this journey? How do we begin to build a life we do not need a break from? First, we need to get clear on who we are and what we want. This requires honest self-reflection. What are your values? What matters most to you? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? Next, we need to audit our current life. How much of your time is spent on activities that align with your values and passions? How much is spent on things that drain you? Are there changes you can make, even small ones, to bring more alignment into your daily life? Then we need to start making conscious choices. Every decision, from how you spend your free time to the career moves you make, should be filtered through the lens of your purpose and values. This might mean saying no to things that do not align with your true self, even if they seem attractive on the surface. It might mean taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone to pursue what truly matters to you. Building a life you do not need a break from is not about achieving a perfect, problem-free existence. It's about creating a life that's so aligned with who you are that even the challenges become meaningful. Some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I have real problems. I am struggling to pay my bills. I am dealing with health issues. I am facing discrimination. How can I build a life I do not need a break from when I'm just trying to survive? These are valid concerns, and I want to acknowledge them. Building a life you do not need a break from does not mean ignoring real problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding purpose and meaning even in the midst of challenges. In fact, some of the most inspiring examples of people living purposeful lives come from those who faced the greatest adversities. Think of individuals who have overcome tremendous obstacles to make significant contributions to the world. These individuals didn't have easy lives. They faced challenges most of us can't even imagine. But they found ways to align their lives with their values and make meaningful contributions to the world, even in the midst of tremendous difficulty. So if you are facing significant challenges, I encourage you to ask yourself, how can I bring more purpose and meaning into my life? Even in the midst of these difficulties, how can I use my unique gifts to make a positive impact, no matter how small, in my current circumstances? Building a life you do not need a break from is not about achieving a perfect, problem-free existence. It's about creating a life that's so aligned with who you are that even the challenges become meaningful. Practical steps you can take to start building a life you do not need a break from. First, stop paying attention to your energy levels throughout the day. What activities energize you? What drains you? This awareness can help you identify areas of your life that are in alignment with your true self and areas that aren't. Second, make time for activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. If you love art, sketch during your lunch break. If you are passionate about writing, write for 15 minutes before bed. These small moments of alignment can have a big impact on your overall sense of fulfillment. Third, look for ways to bring more of your passions into your work. Can you take on projects that align with your interests? Can you use your unique skills to solve problems in your organization? Even small changes can make a big difference in how you feel about your work. Fourth, nurture relationships that support your growth and align with your values. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to be your best self. Fifth, continually educate yourself. Read books, take classes, attend workshops that align with your interests and passions. The more you learn, the more opportunities you will see to align your life with your purpose. Sixth, practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good in your life. Gratitude can help shift your perspective and help you find joy and meaning even in challenging circumstances. Seventh, serve others. Look for ways to use your gifts to make a positive impact on others. This could be through volunteering, mentoring, or simply being there for a friend in need. Service is a powerful way to add meaning and purpose to your life. Some people think that building a life you do not need a break from means you will be working all the time. That's not the case at all. In fact, when you are living a life aligned with your purpose, you will likely find that you naturally create a healthier work-life balance. When your work is an expression of your purpose, you are more efficient and effective. You do not waste energy on procrastination or busy work. This often means you can accomplish more in less time, leaving more space for rest, relationships, and personal growth. When you are living a purposeful life, you do not see rest as an escape from your life. Instead, rest becomes a natural part of your rhythm, a time to recharge so you can continue living out your purpose with energy and enthusiasm. Building a life you do not need a break from also means becoming fully present in each moment. It means finding joy and purpose not just in the big, exciting events, but in the mundane, everyday tasks that make up the bulk of our lives. Your morning routine. Do you rush through it, barely awake, already dreading the day ahead? Or do you approach it with intention, gratitude, and a sense of purpose? Something as simple as savoring your morning coffee, taking a moment to appreciate the sunrise, or spending a few minutes in quiet reflection can set the tone for your entire day. I am not suggesting that every moment of your life will be filled with ecstatic joy. That's not realistic, nor is it desirable. Life is complex, with its share of challenges and difficult emotions. But when you are living a life aligned with your purpose, even the challenging moments take on new meaning. They become opportunities for growth, for deepening your understanding, for refining your path. The difference between trudging up a mountain because someone told you to versus climbing that same mountain because you are passionate about reaching the summit. The physical effort might be the same, but the experience is entirely different. One leaves you exhausted and resentful. The other invigorated and fulfilled. That's the difference between a life you need a break from and a life you are fully engaged in. It's not about the external circumstances, but about your internal alignment and sense of purpose. Some of you might be thinking, but I do not know what my purpose is. How can I align my life with something I haven't figured out yet? And that's a valid concern. Finding your purpose is not always easy or straightforward. It's a journey of self-discovery that can take time. Your purpose is not something external that you need to find. It's already within you, waiting to be uncovered and expressed. It's in the things that light you up, the causes that move you, the skills that come naturally to you. Start by paying attention to those things. What activities make you lose track of time? What topics can you talk about endlessly? What injustices in the world make your blood boil? These are all clues pointing towards your purpose. Your purpose does not have to be grand or world-changing in the eyes of others. It just has to be meaningful to you. Maybe your purpose is to create beautiful art that brings joy to others. Maybe it's to be the best parent you can be. Maybe it's to solve complex problems in your field of work. Whatever it is, it's valid and important. As you start to uncover your purpose, you will likely find that it evolves over time. That's normal and healthy. As you grow and change, your understanding of your purpose may deepen or shift. The key is to stay open, to keep exploring, to keep aligning your life with what feels most true and meaningful to you in each moment. Some people worry that if they're not constantly striving, if they're not pushing themselves to the brink, they'll become complacent. They fear that contentment equals stagnation. But this fear is based on a misunderstanding of what it means to live a purposeful life. Living a life you do not need a break from does not mean you stop growing or challenging yourself. Quite the opposite. When you are aligned with your purpose, you are naturally motivated to keep learning, to keep improving, to keep expanding your impact. When you are doing something you love, something that feels meaningful and important to you, do not you naturally want to get better at it? Do not you seek out new challenges, new ways to grow and improve? That's the kind of growth that comes from living a purposeful life. It's not driven by external pressure or the fear of falling behind, but by an intrinsic desire to more fully express your gifts and make your unique contribution to the world. This kind of growth is sustainable. It does not lead to burnout because it's fueled by passion rather than fear or obligation. It's the difference between forcing yourself to run on a treadmill because you think you should and joyfully exploring a beautiful hiking trail because you love being in nature. Building a life you do not need a break from also means redefining our relationship with time. In our fast-paced world, we often feel like we are in a constant race against the clock. We rush from one task to the next, always feeling like there's not enough time in the day. But when you are living a life aligned with your purpose, your perception of time can shift. You may find that you enter a state of flow more often, where time seems to expand and you are fully absorbed in what you are doing. This does not mean you will never feel rushed or busy, but it does mean that your busyness will feel purposeful rather than frantic. It's also important to remember that building a life you do not need a break from is a process, not a destination. It's not something you achieve once and for all, but something you continually work towards. It requires ongoing self-reflection, adjustment, and growth. There will be setbacks along the way. There will be times when you feel out of alignment, when you question your path. These moments aren't failures, they're opportunities for growth and recalibration. They're chances to check in with yourself, to reassess what's working and what is not, and to make adjustments as needed. This journey also requires patience, just as a garden does not bloom overnight. A purposeful life takes time to cultivate. You may not see dramatic changes immediately, but small, consistent actions taken over time can lead to profound transformations. It's also crucial to understand that building a life you do not need a break from does not mean you will never take vacations or have downtime. Rest and relaxation are important parts of a balanced, purposeful life. The difference is that these breaks become opportunities for rejuvenation and reflection, rather than desperate escapes from a life you can't stand. When you align your life with your purpose, you do not just transform your own experience, you also have a positive impact on those around you. When you are fulfilled and energized by your life, you bring that positive energy to your interactions with others. You become an inspiration, showing others what's possible when you live in alignment with your true self. Your enthusiasm becomes contagious, sparking curiosity and motivation in those around you. You become a living example of what it means to thrive, not just survive. When you are operating from a place of purpose and fulfillment, you are better equipped to serve others. You have more energy, more creativity, and more compassion to offer. You are able to show up fully in your relationships, your work, and your community. How different the world would be if more people were living lives they didn't need a break from. Imagine workplaces filled with engaged, Passionate individuals who see their jobs as a calling rather than a burden. Picture communities where people are actively involved, using their unique gifts to contribute to the greater good. Envision families where parents are present and fulfilled, modeling for their children what it means to live with purpose. This vision is not just a pipe dream. It's a possibility that starts with each one of us choosing to align our lives with our true selves. It's a ripple effect that begins with one person and has the potential to transform entire communities, organizations, and even societies. Building a life you do not need a break from is not always easy. It requires courage. The courage to question societal norms and expectations. The courage to look honestly at your life and acknowledge what's working and what is not. The courage to make changes, even when they're uncomfortable or scary. It requires self-awareness. The willingness to continually check in with yourself. To listen to your inner voice above the noise of external expectations. It requires the humility to admit when you have veered off course and the strength to course correct. It requires perseverance. There will be setbacks. There will be times when it feels easier to fall back into old patterns, to settle for a life that's good enough. But remember, the path of least resistance rarely leads to fulfillment. True satisfaction comes from pushing through challenges and staying true to your path, even when it's difficult. Building a life you do not need a break from also requires a shift in how we define success. In our society, success is often equated with external markers, money, status, power. But true success is about alignment. It's about waking up each day feeling excited about what lies ahead. It's about going to bed each night feeling fulfilled by how you spent your day. It's about knowing that you are using your unique gifts to make a positive impact on the world. This does not mean you can't have ambitions or strive for achievement. But it does mean that your drive comes from an internal sense of purpose rather than external validation. Your goals become expressions of your authentic self, not attempts to prove your worth to others. As you embark on this journey of building a life you do not need a break from, it's important to remember that it's a personal process. Your aligned life will look different from anyone else's. What brings you fulfillment and purpose may be very different from what fulfills the person next to you. The key is to honor your own path, your own values, your own definition of a life well lived. This journey also involves redefining your relationship with time. In a life you do not need a break from, you are not constantly wishing time away, counting down to the weekend or your next vacation. Instead, you learn to embrace each moment, finding meaning and purpose in both the extraordinary and the mundane. This does not mean every moment will be filled with ecstatic joy. Life will still have its challenges, its mundane tasks, its difficult emotions. But when you are living in alignment with your purpose, even these moments take on new meaning. Challenges become opportunities for growth. Mundane tasks become meditative practices. Difficult emotions become teachers, guiding you towards greater self-awareness and compassion. Building a life you do not need a break from also involves cultivating resilience. When you are clear on your purpose and values, you are better equipped to handle life's inevitable setbacks. You develop the ability to bounce back from disappointments, to learn from failures, to adapt to changes without losing sight of your core self. This resilience comes from knowing that your worth is not tied to external outcomes. It comes from trusting in your ability to navigate whatever life throws your way. It comes from the deep-seated knowledge that no matter what happens, you have the inner resources to not just survive, but to find meaning and even thrive. As you continue on this path, you may find that your definition of success evolves. Instead of chasing after fleeting moments of happiness, you begin to cultivate a deeper sense of joy and contentment. You start to measure your life not by what you accumulate or achieve, but by the quality of your experiences, the depth of your relationships, and the positive impact you have on others. This shift in perspective can be truly liberating. It frees you from the constant pressure to prove yourself, to compete, to keep up with others. Instead, you can focus on your own journey, on becoming the best version of yourself, on fully expressing your unique gifts and talents. Building a life you do not need a break from also involves embracing continuous learning and growth. When you are aligned with your purpose, you naturally seek out opportunities to expand your knowledge and skills. Learning becomes not a chore, but an exciting adventure. You become curious about the world around you, eager to explore new ideas and experiences. This commitment to growth does not mean you are never satisfied with where you are. Rather, it means you are always open to new possibilities, always ready to evolve and expand. You understand that growth is not always comfortable, but you welcome the challenges because you know they're leading you towards greater alignment and fulfillment. You may find that your influence naturally expands as you become more authentic, more aligned, more fulfilled. People will be drawn to your energy. They'll want to know your secret. And in sharing your journey, you will inspire others to embark on their own paths of self-discovery and purposeful living. This is how change happens. Not through grand gestures or sweeping reforms, but through individuals choosing to live with intention and purpose, inspiring others to do the same. By building a life you do not need a break from, you become a catalyst for positive change in your family, your workplace, your community, and beyond. This journey is not about achieving perfection. It's not about eliminating all stress or difficulty from your life. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling to you. A life that energizes you even when it challenges you. It's about waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that you are on the right path, even if that path is not always easy. Imagine for a moment that you are at the end of your life, looking back on the years you have lived. What do you want to see? Do you want to see a life filled with moments you endure, always waiting for the next break, the next vacation, the next chance to escape? Or do you want to see a life rich with purpose, filled with moments of joy, growth, and meaningful contribution? The choice is yours. And it's a choice you make not just once, but every single day, with every single action. Building a life you do not need a break from is not a destination you reach once and for all. It's an ongoing process. A daily commitment to aligning your actions with your values, to infusing your moments with purpose, to showing up fully for your life. I challenge you to take one step, no matter how small, towards building a life you do not need a break from. Maybe it's having a conversation you have been avoiding. Maybe it's signing up for a class you have always wanted to take. Maybe it's simply taking a few minutes to sit in quiet reflection and connect with what truly matters to you. Whatever it is, do it. And then do something else tomorrow and the next day. Build momentum. Create new habits. Reshape your life one choice at a time. Remember, you are capable of far more than you realize. You have gifts that this world desperately needs. You have a purpose that only you can fulfill. Do not wait for someday to start living that purpose. Do not put your dreams on hold. Do not settle for a life that you constantly need a break from. Instead, have the courage to build a life that lights you up, a life that challenges you to grow, that allows you to contribute, that fills you with a sense of meaning and joy. Build a life so aligned with your true self that the very idea of needing a break from it becomes absurd. The world is waiting for your contribution. Your purpose is calling. Will you answer? Thank you